You're listening to ArTEEtude, a podcast with artists created and produced by Detlef Schlich, a visual artist and ritual designer, living and loving in West Cork, and best known for his essay about the cause and effect of shamanism, art and digital culture. Working in the field of performance, photography, painting, sound, installations, and film, he will dive and discover with us and a weekly creative guest into the unknown and exciting deep ocean of the creative mind.
This is Detlef Schlich, and today we dive into the deep and unknown, exciting, creative ocean of the unexpected creative mind, together with Pastora Braghini from Argentina, from not Cordoba, because Cordoba is somewhere else.
Concordia.
It's from
Concordia.
From Concordia. So I must say, so I was so busy in the last days with other things. I thought, okay, so I researched more about all that. Even about the song "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina," and I love this song. So first of all, hi Pastora.
Hi, how are you, Detlef?
Great to have you in this show, my dear. That is so lovely. We had 2 lovely shows, and we had so much fun. That is really, I really enjoy that. That's nice.
Do you know you mentioned the opera, the song of the opera, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Yeah.
It was prohibited in Argentina during the military.
I heard about that, yes.
But my father has a pirate record. A pirate record,
yeah.
And we shut the doors and we listened the complete opera. In those years there were not cassettes. It was ribbons like this, like wheels.
Yeah.
So I loved that opera.
It was peer-to-peer machines with the big tracks, no? The big tapes, no?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And that opera ridiculizates the Peronism. So the military government, they were anti-Peronism, but they don't like to be Argentina seen like that. So they have prohibit. And a friend of my dad has traveled to England, I don't know where.
Yeah.
He had bought the long play.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was 1 or 2, and he recorded it. And I love to hear that. It is a great opera.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. I heard of that. Who was the singer? The woman.
I know. I don't remember.
I think Madonna did a cover version of it. I'm not sure if it was Madonna.
No. It's first. It's a complete opera. It's a complete.
But it was.
It's not that song.
It was in the charts. This song was in Europe in the charts.
What is in the charts?
In the charts, in the top 10.
Okay.
In the radio.
What I'm saying, it is not a single song. It belongs to a great opus, an opera.
Yeah, I know. But especially this song was very popular
this song.
in Europe, you know.
Here in Argentina, afterwards, there are a lot of singers that sing that song in Spanish, but they don't know. I like an honor to Evita, but they don't know that the origin was a critic.
It was critic, yeah. That was,
Yes.
you see, that was actually what I wanted to research about the origins more, because I still had it in my mind. It was, when did it came out? 70s, no?
Yeah, yes, maybe, no, 70s, maybe 70s, final 70s, maybe.
Something like this. I mean, now we are already in the middle of a chat. We had in the first chat we had some random stuff which was very interesting in the first episode. In the second conversation we heard something somehow about the upgrowing of Pastora, and now we're already in the third part in the middle of Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. So we might go a little bit back, and I wonder, because we had yesterday, we were thinking about it, where are we gonna do what talk in the third episode? We could speak about the inflation, or we could speak as well about the war after you became 16 years old. So I don't know what's for you. What would you like to more to?
Okay, let's continue with the music.
Yeah.
You know do you know the Pink Floyd? Yes.
Pink Floyd. Yeah, sure, I know Pink Floyd.
You know the album Final Cut? The Final Cut?
I know this album, but I'm not so familiar with it.
Well, this album is all of the Malvinas War. I think it is idea of how to say his name from
Pink Floyd, the singer, or what?
From the singer. Well, I can.
Roger, was it Roger?
Roger Waters. It's a
Waters,
creation
yes.
of Roger Waters. Thanks. And
Not Roger Whittaker.
And he is a critic to Margaret Thatcher. And here, when I was 16, we have a military government.
Was 82 or what? Huh? 82, 84.
82 from the 2nd April to 10th June. Some months.
I think that is very interesting, and I think it's necessary to speak about that because we currently in such a glitch all over the world, especially in America, where people getting afraid that a new civil war will start there. You know, so if in the next 4 years, if Biden is gone or whatever, so I think it is always good to warn people what can happen if they're not fighting for democracy, isn't it? So
Yes.
So yeah, go on.
Okay, and we have the military government assumed in 1976, and they were the military only. They have the support of people, of a lot of citizens.
Yeah.
Because and some parties, because the situation with the Peronism was very, very, very awful.
Yeah.
And they in the 1982 they were losing power, and one day they have been the unions have gone to the principal square in Buenos Aires to a manifestation against the government.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, they invade Malvinas.
Yeah.
For us, are called Malvinas.
Yeah.
And for the English, are named Falkland.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in 2 days, the people who was against the government, they were applauding the government. All the peoples, when they invade Malvinas, all the people from all the cities went to the squares. My father took me, and I remember the people shouting, very happy, and my father said, and they were shouting, "If you don't jump, you are an Englishman." That was in Spanish. El que no salta es un inglés.
Yeah.
And my father told me, look, those people, they are happy to go into the war. The same people will condemn the government later.
Yeah.
And that's what has happened.
Yeah.
At that time, there was a military training obligatory for boys of 18 years. So the military government has sent those boys to the war.
Yeah.
And they have lost the war in some months.
It's awful, yeah.
And it was a process here called Malvinization. Not to talk more about Malvinas because we have lost the war. So those veterans has not been well recognized. They were child, but they have fight as grown people.
Yeah.
And they are more veteran death by suicide than death in the war.
Honestly.
And afterwards, that the government has lost lots of power because he lost the war, and in 1983, democracy came back.
And it's still there, but it's still probably in Ireland we had long time as well problems about corruption, the same like in Italy, or in Germany there's still some corruption going on, but I think, that's just my opinion. So Europe, the fact that Europe tries to find a way to set up a union, the control functions are bigger as well for the Irish than for other people as well. Some blame the German now because Germany has quite a high standard over there in the EU, But I think as well, a thing like the EU, it can be, if it's well done, if it's fair, so keeping it transparent, keeping politics transparent can always just help, So I don't know how...
Here is not transparent. There's a new kind of slavery. You pay a lot of taxes, and if you don't, you have inflation. That inflation is to print. The government has no money, so he prints money. So the money has no value, and those is to the politics. They steal. They put their relatives in the state. The state is bigger and bigger and does not give no service. It's a decadence.
Is it and how is it if people going on the street? Is it very dangerous, or can they confess their anger and against
No, there is a silent mass, and I think that we must the independent people. I don't belong to any party, but I think that we who are independent, we must express our thoughts and try to. I don't know. I can't change myself. I can't change the world.
That's I know. For me, it's, look. Me as an artist, so what I try is as well not taking politics sides. Being. older I become, the more I try to avoid, being a member of. I mean, I was a member of a party as I was young, and I was very rebellious and all that, but times changing, and especially now in times like where conspiracy theories come and come from getting undermined from the right wing in order to confuse politics in general, it is awful. I mean, people they don't know what they can believe anymore, So for me,
I was talking with my daughter. We think different, but I say, everything is relative now, and so the young people it's the same one thing than another. So when appears a personality like Trump's that he says he has the truth, it's like a religion. So
it is.
So I don't know how people can support Trump. He's a crazy man, but it is one man that say I can find the word in English to give certain certeza.
So, and we live in very uncertain times, So
yeah.
That's the same, and that's the same. What happened in Germany in the 30s as Hitler became popular,
Yes.
And that was actually the same, He got all the people, Nobody thought that things like this can happen, and zack, boom. So everyone, Hitler was so mighty that he could start with his very evil things, So people are warned, and I mean, to be honest, that's what I mean. I'm just researching for a video what I make now. America is dying, and the world will pay the price for it, and it is inspired by an essay from a critical economist. I don't have the name in my mind now. From an American economist, a critical thinker. So I research now as well a lot in this storm of the Capitol. So last year,
Yes.
And try to analyze it somehow, and we'll bring it as well on an artistical way into this video clip, And what I see is it is somehow scary, So I mean, I think the Americans they need some morally support from the whole world. Because they are in fear,
Yes, and I say those kind of things, the thing that happens in the capital. Here in Argentina, we are accustomed to those kind of things. But you see what is happening, that is happening in the United States, that is supposed that they are civilized. And I in my Instagram, I follow all the politics. And I follow Biden also.
Yeah.
And and he gives short messages, and I think that I hear him as Argentine politics in some way.
Yeah.
And I say, it would be terrible if the Americans are copying Argentine politics. It's not fair but like a populism.
Yeah. The populists. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think democracy is not falling from the sky. So
No,
it is always very. It needs always a discourse. a discussion to keep democracy going, even to keep the democracy, even if she is getting smaller and smaller, you know. So this discourse, they have to go on, and for that, art help as well a lot, because art is able to keep a discourse on a different way, from a different angle, you know. So let's keep the discourse going. I mean, especially in America, where people in most of the states are entitled to wear weapons, you know, and if you see now that
Yes.
if you hear these expressions, hang him up, kill her, I mean, they dealing with words, you know, but they probably don't know what they say. I mean, I think it's more for them a shout of frustration, you know. But there are always a couple of people in this group who use this confusion in order to
Yes.
heat them up, you know, in order to
Yes.
brainwash them, and you know, and if people forget to speak about democracy, you know, and taking everything for granted, you know, those people who are already confused, you know, they don't have a chance to really maybe get an option, because they're not thinking anymore about that, what is right or wrong. They just listen to these people who have these weapons and shout, "Hang them higher, hang them." I mean, it's awful.
It's
I mean,
terrible.
but you probably you already you're vaccinated with knowledge, I would say, from your history, you know.
Oh,
If I can use a little bit more poetical way to express that awful thing.
wait, I have 3 shots.
I'm not starting with that shit now. No, but I mean, so the Argentinian, they you had to be creative with during the inflations, isn't it? I mean, it's
We are survivors. I think we are survivors. Even you are rich, you are poor, you are middle class. We are very creative. There's expression here that is, when we have a problem, we tie with a wire, no?
yeah.
And we have a solution.
Yeah.
We must be creative to for example, you know, it's moral to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Because when you pay taxes, it's your contribution to the whole society.
Yeah, like
to keep the
everywhere.
whole society, like everywhere.
Yeah.
But in Argentina, if you pay all the taxes,
Yeah.
you will broke. So it is terrible. You must be illegal to survive. The half the economy,
Yeah.
it's black here. Here it's called black and informal economy.
Yeah.
It's informal. Half the economy is informal. And the states, it's always charging to the half formal economy. So it's naive to pay all the taxes.
I get you.
But if it is immoral not to pay taxes, so you are in a contradiction.
Yeah. But how do people survive? I mean, probably they gonna more black markets exist, isn't it? And people find ways to buy things cheaper under the table and whatever. I don't know. So.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
I don't know. What I know is for instance, from Yugoslavia, from ex-Yugoslavia, people that had as well their 2-3 jobs. They were working 10, 12, 14 hours, 16 hours sometimes to survive. I mean, I don't know if this is the same in Argentina.
It's hard to find a work because it's so regulated, the work, that nobody wants an employee because it's a trouble. So, for example, my husband has worked for 30 years in a hotel. Due to the pandemic, the hotel shuts, and it is hard to
sure, but that's probably almost everywhere the case. That so do they? There was the mic was falling down. Never mind. Yeah. Do you get support somehow from the state? Then I mean, in Germany and in Ireland, people get a compensation somehow, so if they can't work. I don't know if things like this exist in Argentina. I know that even in Spain, for instance, is as well. It's more difficult. So.
What, that was a question?
Yeah.
No, I haven't understood. I haven't understood.
I was wondering if you get compensations in times like those from the States.
No. The state compensation, but my husband couldn't. It was so bureaucratic that he couldn't have it, and it is, you can't live with that. And the thing is that there's too much regulation. For example, you have a shop, and you are your shop is getting bigger, and you want to have another person to help you. Well, you have to think it, because you have to pay taxes for having an employee.
Yeah.
So, and those taxes are perhaps 50% the salary of the employee, and you can have a problem if the employee make you a trial.
Yeah.
And you always lose the trial. So
and then you're
no
double
one
fucked.
wants.
Yes.
For example, no. Even there are shops that are need personnel, need workers.
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't employ because if they're gonna do it, so in the worst case scenario would be that they had to pay then more than they can earn as well. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, dear Pastora, I would say so. Before we finish with all this bad feelings, dear listeners. I mean, we had our laugh as well. So it's not just that we are talking all the time about inflation and about war, but I think it was as well somehow necessary to stress that a little bit as well, because it's ArTEEtude and it's still a podcast with an attitude. So it was great to learn in this direction as well, somehow a little bit. And I mean, time flies. And did I mention already in this part that you are now in the Hall of ArTEEtude, and in the third part already of Pastora's podcast. So welcome as a member of the hall, in the Hall of ArTEEtude. So not in the Hall of Fame or Hall of Rock and Roll. That's the Hall of ArTEEtude. Yes.
Thank you, Detlef.
Yep, people, you can join us. Even you can go to, if you want to support the podcast, you can go to www.ArTEEtude.com, and there you can find things like my mugs and prints and T-shirts and all that. You can find Pastora's Instagram account as well in my description, because Pastora is as well. She does lovely photos of Argentina, of a place where she's coming from, and it is as well informative. And I call her now an artist of the. She has an aesthetical eye, I mean, I promised her not introducing her as an artist, but now we are at the end of the show, and now I can call her an artist. So I just promised her not introducing her as an artist. So.
Oh, you're so clever.
which is great.
A trick.
That was a trick. Yeah. Finally. It was great to have you in my show. I really enjoyed that, Pastora.
I feel very comfortable, and it was a great experience.
That's nice, lovely to hear that, because that's actually my I aim that to create as a quasi digital shaman a space for personalities, for people, so where they can feel safe, and where we can speak about everything we want, because eventually everything is creative, and the logos, the word, and playing with words is as well a big part of creativity, so that's cool. That's great. Thank you very much. You can go as well to if you want to follow me at Instagram, it is at Detlef Schlich, at Love West Cork Artists, or at ArTEEtude as well on Instagram. And like I said, the shop www.arteetude.com. Pastora you find on my description, and that's it for today. And next week, I must say, I have, hopefully, if that works, is Debbie Shaw. She is a photographer, and among artists with a lot of other talents, and she's living close to the national park Joshua Tree in California, and I'm looking forward as well to exchange the experience, so how it is to live close to a park like this, so Pastora, thank you very much, and
Thank you, Detlef.
I wish you everything. Do you want to add anything at the end of the last show?
Oh, to add anything? I don't know. Everything is relative.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would say, and on that note, that's as well a clever finishing, Pastora. Have a great time, and thank you for being in my show. We see us in the group,
and to see the half glass
full, not empty.
Full, not empty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I say always, hope is that what dies. It's finally dying, So let's hope. I mean, we all, yeah. We will. Everything will getting better. Could be worse, I could say as well.
Yes. Yes.
Have a lovely rest day, and your dear listeners have a lovely Sunday. And this was the early confession. Bye, my dear.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
You have listened to ArTEEtude, West Cork's first art, fashion and design podcast. ArTEEtude, never so close again. That was too close.